lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Well, hello. How's everybody doing today? Charles McCutchen here at the Big Entrepreneur. Back for another session. I'm about to give y'all some information and some insight. As you know, this happens every Monday, excluding some holidays, because everybody need a small break here and there. But you have this every Monday at 6 p.m., and it's built around financial freedom, and it's called Charles's Corner. So every week we come in, I give a little bit of insight and information, and what I tell everybody is I'm providing information, and I want you to go do your own due diligence. That's the best you can do. I'm not providing any type of legal advice. I don't want to say Charles said to do this. That's not what I do. So anytime I provide information, I do give my email address and my information. Literally, you can find me online, social media, from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook and stuff like that. My email address is Charles M. Speaks, ARLES, the letter M, Speaks, SPEAKS @Yahoo. And, if you have any different questions, give me a second, because I have a lot of people hit me up for information, and I just kind of steer people to the information if I don't have it. But if I do have it, I definitely say, okay, well, you should do this, this, and this. The only information I give is what I've already done. So, I think that's the best way to give information. Today I wanted to speak about real estate. And what I noticed is every time tax season comes around, a lot of people use the tax money, saving up their money so they can get back into a house and doing just either they want to do real estate or they want to get back into a house. And to me, real estate is a great equalizer. Real estate can actually set you free if you know how to do it. And a lot of people do it differently. There's so many different parts of the puzzle when we're speaking about real estate as a whole. My goodness, I hear a lot of people say they're flippers and wholesalers and stuff like that. And to me, real estate is so much bigger than just that, because you have so many different pieces of a puzzle, and you can kind of formulate your niche. So their niche may be doing wholesale deals, or their niche may be doing flipping, or their niche may be buying up rentals and then renting them out to people. I used to do that as well. The goal is, let's find some motivated people. Everybody, you hear the term motivated sellers a lot. I think it's overused. We just use it all the freaking time, and it's just overused to me. And it's just finding a deal. I think the word motivated just sits out there. It's just finding a deal. And with anything, and I know a lot of people don't want to speak on this or listen to it as well, but we talk on marketing, mindset. But if you put mindset first, you'll be better off on the marketing piece than doing real estate. And the mindset piece is just understanding where you are. I see a lot of people, they start out, wanting to do real estate, want to make this $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, and it starts to get hard, and people just give up. They just kind of say, okay, well, it's not for me. It's just it's too hard. And I get that from a lot of people. They say it's too hard. I look at it like this. So imagine you on a flight from L.A. to New York. You're on a flight to L.A. to New York, and the pilot, they may come over, and I've been on flights where they tell us even before we start, we may get some turbulence, and it's okay. A lot of flights give turbulence. It's just the air and coming over and hitting the plane a certain way. It makes it shake a little bit. You sitting there. Now, I would, kind of be concerned if the oxygen mask came down, but the pilot comes over and say there's going to be some turbulence. And just because he says that or she says that, that doesn't mean that we say, okay, I want to get off the plane. I'm just going to check out. So a lot of people will check out, and I use that analogy to say turbulence to me is just like hard times or a little bit of a struggle in the real estate world or whatever it is you're doing. We're going to go through the struggle. So if you don't want to go through the struggle and you're going to check out every time, why would you do that? Because there is a struggle. Because a lot of people always want the end result but not willing to put the work in to get to that end result. And that's one of the hard parts about, doing real estate or just doing business or just doing really anything. People quit. I see so many people quit. Along my journey, it is amazing how many people have just almost given up on life. It's like they just like pull out the white flag and, people get so excited about things that they want to start. Excitement doesn't keep them throughout the whole journey because nobody told them, hey, this is what's going to happen. It's going to suck. And I tell people all the time, you have to embrace the suck. It's going to hurt a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give some pointers. I'm going to give some steps. I'm going to give some things you can do. I'm going to give some things you need to be aware of. I'm going to talk about some myths. I'm going to talk about the money. And I'm going to talk about real estate as a whole. And to me, real estate, it involves the commercial and the residential side. There's different pieces of the puzzle on both sides of the house. Some people think you have to graduate up to commercial, and then, some people, a lot of people always focus on the money, when it's like, okay, well, we got to kind of stop looking at the money and start looking at the terminology in real estate. Let's start looking at the research in real estate. Let's start looking at the numbers in real estate. Start looking at the things that really matter, the things that make real estate what it is. For me, and I hope it's for a lot of other people out, any business, I'd say 75% of every business out there should be marketing. Because if you can market, and this is what I had to go back and learn. I had to take about 6 months off and really study marketing and really get down and dirty. But if you can understand marketing and get down and dirty with it and use your time wisely marketing, you can do any company, any business, any everything. Because I feel that everything comes down to marketing because marketing brings in the money. It's going to cost some money and some time, depending on how you market, but that's just a part of business. So I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to start with marketing, some ways we market in the real estate industry, real estate world, and you pick and choose where you want to spend your time. You're going to do it somewhere. So one of the first things is you see them signs on the side of the road. We buy houses, we sell houses, blah, blah, blah. You see all that stuff on the side of the road, and if you're not looking at it, you're going to see it now. And that's one form of marketing. We call those bandit signs. Those are just signs that we put out there. You can either make them yourself or, they don't cost that much, but, I started out making them myself. And you can do the same thing. I tell people to start where you are. The other thing is direct mail. Now, we receive so much stuff through the mail. A lot of stuff is junk mail. We just throw it away. The same with direct mail. If you're sending out letters to houses and saying, hey, we want to buy your home, let us know. Here's a phone number. Most of the time we throw it away. And it's going to take about probably 7 to 8 to 10 times you sending stuff via direct mail for somebody to do something. And you may send out a batch of 5,000 per time to a designated area, location. But you have to look at it like you look at your mail. We don't really care about mail. We may be looking for something specific, but other than that, it's not really something that's really gonna, man, I just can't wait to see if I get any junk mail today. That's just not what we're doing. So I'm gonna read something that I have right here, and I just found it kind of crazy. And it's like it's a notice that some people may put on your door, and it says, "Attention homeowner. Our company is now seeking to purchase several houses in your neighborhood. Are you looking to sell? Your home has been identified as a good candidate for our real estate buying needs, blah, blah, blah." So you send that out with the phone number on there in the hopes that somebody may want to call you up. You never know. You could be winning. And a lot of people won't do that, and that's you really have to go door to door for some of this stuff. You can go door to door or get the post office to mail it for you, or it's just ways to do it. The one thing you can't do or you shouldn't do, don't mess with people's mailboxes. Don't do that. I've seen people out there sticking things in mailboxes. That's like some federal stuff there. There's some federal laws that get in there, understand what you can and can't do so you don't get yourself in any trouble. The other thing I've seen people do is, I don't do this. I wanted to do it, though, billboards, putting stuff on billboards. Now, it's for me, it's hit or miss. And if you have the funding to do that and you really want to do it and you think it's going to work, by all means. The one thing I say, when you start out in any marketing arena, you can't just do like one thing. You be like, well, I had one guy. I'm showing him how to do real estate. We got some signs together. He put out about 5 signs, and he said, "Man, I put out 5 signs on Friday," and he called. We talked on Monday. He said, "I didn't get any calls." I said, "Okay, well, all right. Well," I said, "How many signs you put out?" He said, 5. I said, "Okay, well, what's next?" He's like, "Man, I just don't know." I said, "Well, let me tell you like this. You have 2 options. You can either keep going or you can quit. Those are your options right there. And if you keep going, how about put out more signs, and how about put it out in different locations? How about that? What about that?" So he eventually ended up quitting. He didn't do anything after that weekend. It's kind of, that's kind of like the norm, though. I say you get about 10% of people that keep moving in the real estate world, and probably less than that. You might get 5% that just keeps moving. And that's just what it is. That's just the numbers. That's all it is. So it's the other thing you can have, we call them guerrilla cards. And all it is cards that you made up that you pass out to everybody. It's almost like a business card. So it's so many different tricks and tips that people are trying to use to see, what sticks. And some people use more than others. There's just so many different ways to do it. There's so many different ways to do things. Now you have a thing called follow-up coin, and that's another tip or trick that people are using. Then you have for sale by owner. You put those out there. Those there's little signs that go into the yard, kind of sort of like a bandit sign. Some people use magnets on the side of their car. Some people door knock. I've done door knocking. It's not the best. That's just what it is. Another piece of real estate, a lot of people know about. It's called wholesaling. And for lack of a better word, a lot of people, they just say, "Yeah, I'm a wholesaler," and they think that's like a good thing. And I'll tell it to you like this. Let me give y'all the real deal. When you speak like that to people that have been in the real estate game for a while, that to me means you don't have any money. So, you can say it if you want to, but, I tell people shy away from saying, "Yeah, I'm a wholesaler," because that means you don't have any money. And real estate realtors, they kind of understand that as well, depending on how long they've been in the game. If you tell a realtor you're going to wholesale it, that means that you don't have any money, and that means that they can't get any money. So they're probably more than likely not going to be, wanting to work with you. That's just what it is. It's no thing against you, but a lot of people won't tell you. But I'm here to say, hey, I listen to the words more than anything else. And a lot of people just don't use the right terminology when speaking in real estate. And it changes a little bit in the commercial world. So the words are different, and words mean something a little bit differently depending on how you're using them. And so if you're using the wrong terminology, people are going to look at you like you lost it. Like, are you serious? And a lot of them, the thing is, a lot of people won't correct you. And I'm like, wow. And I look back to when I started, I'm like, I was all messed up, like a lot of people. And nobody really correct you. You just keep getting better and learning and learning. So with wholesaling, this is another, basically what you're doing, we call it assigning the contract. You get a contract. I put a contract on a property that I want to buy. And once I do that, I say I want to buy the property, I just assign the contract to somebody that's going to buy it. I'm not really, in a sense, buying the house. I'm just, in a sense, middle person that may have found the deal, and then I look for a buyer that can buy the deal and pay for the house, and then in turn I get for that term, and it's not that big. So this is the one thing I hear from a lot of people. All over the country, it's like they need money. I mean, who doesn't? Let's keep it real. So when I say they need money, they're talking about cash buyers. I want to speak to cash buyers and cash buyers only. And, I used to be that way as well. I don't, because you get so many people who don't have the money, but they want the deal. So they may try to tie up your property to where they have to go through like 3 or 4 people. We call that the daisy chain. You have to go through 3 or 4 people to get to the money, and finally it gets to you. So the daisy chain is something that you don't want to have happen to you. You want direct to buyer. So when we talk in cash buyers, let me tell y'all this. You can get in trouble. I see people getting themselves in trouble online, and they just blasting out, hey, I got this investor. I want investors. There's certain rules and regulations dictated by the Securities Exchange Commission, the IRS as well. And I'm not getting into all that. This is not any type of legal advice. All I'm saying is make sure you know what you're talking about when you're trying to request for money and people invest. There's a certain type of investors for every deal. I'm not going to get into it, but just make sure you know what you're talking about. You can get in trouble. It's all about relationships when you're talking cash investors, cash buyers. Form relationships. A lot of people think, well, I want money for nothing, like somebody just going to come give you $300,000 and you don't give them anything and you're just going to hold it for a year and you're going to give them 10% back. Come on, y'all. It doesn't work that way. And it's almost like a unicorn. It's just not happening the way you think it's going to happen or the way some people make it out to be, because some people make it out to be better than what it is. They say they have all these cash buyers and they didn't do anything and they get money for free. And I haven't seen it. And a lot of people like to inflate numbers and stuff like that. If you stick to the numbers and you do good business and you don't try to eat all the food off the table and you leave some meat on the table for your cash buyers and you want them to eat and you're giving them a good interest rate, and a good interest rate is probably different for every cash buyer that you have. You have to speak to that person and find out what's good. Some of them may say 10%, some may say 15%, some may say 30%. I don't know. When you get that relationship, you find out what do you need. Because if you can, give them what they need, eventually you can get to a point to where you don't need cash buyers. The best thing you can do with a cash buyer is say what you're going to say and do what you're going to do and keep your word. If you told them you're going to give them, 20%, don't go back and try to, you calculating because you messed the numbers up. Now you have to go back and say 15% because your numbers were wrong. You're going to have to bite that bullet. That's just part of it. That's just what it is. I would say, you can get cash buyers. I'll tell you where to go. We give you the best place you can go to get cash buyers. www.meetup.com. MEETUP.com. Very simple. www.meetup.com. Put in your city, put in your state, put in real estate, and search probably a 4. I don't know how far you're willing to travel, how bad you want it, but 4-hour drive, and you're going to find people in that area that does real estate. And now you have to ask them, learn from them. And when you go to these meetings, guarantee you somebody's in there looking for something. I went to one meeting, had like 115 people, easy 115 people in there. Everybody's doing something. A lot of people want to start out. Some people savvy. Some people are the cash guys. We have the lawyers, the carpenters, the rehabbers. We have everybody in there. You go there and grab as many business cards as you possibly can. Have yours if you can. Just put real estate investor on there unless you have a skilled set. And then you go in there and now you start the networking piece. And through somebody else, you can find cash buyers. Like, who are you using for your lawyer? I'm using such and such. Okay, great. Do they do double closings? Yes, they do. Great. Let me use them as well. So that's how you get your people. And it's not like, it's not that difficult to find these folks because they're out there and they're looking for deals like everybody else. I found a guy who says, man, I got over, a lot of money in the bank, just sitting in the bank doing nothing, over $1 million, absolutely doing nothing, and I can't find deals. Well, great. I told him, hey, I can find this. So let's work together and let's make something happen. It's all about the numbers, period. For me, I don't care about the look of the house. I care about the numbers first before I start. I see a lot of people, they've fallen in love with houses and, oh, it's so pretty and the gate is so nice and it does this, and I don't really care about all that stuff. I want the numbers to match up first, and then I want to work with somebody that wants the house from me, depending on what I want to do with it. So, if I want to rent it out, I want to make sure that, obviously it's livable and I have the right people. The one thing I don't do, I stay in my lane and I don't try to do other people's job. I'm not a inspector. That's not what I do. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a freaking CPA. I'm not going to come install any carpet or paint any walls. I can do a little work in the house, but that's just, I'm done. I've done it. I've had fun. Renting out houses and stuff, but that's the extent. I'm not doing that stuff. I will hire people that are experts in their field, and that's what they get paid to do. And that's what I think you should do as well. Try to eliminate you doing the hands-on, because my motto is the less you do, the more you make. Try to become just to a person to where you're very knowledgeable on what they're supposed to do, and look at how they do what they do. And so you can come and, pull their card if this doesn't look right or the schematics don't look right. And then you're not going to be like, come on now. Come on. The door is not supposed to open on the freaking right-hand side. Make it open on the left, or, however you want to have it, so you'll have a better understanding. Some other things is it's all about your worth. Now, this is not going to be a knock on real estate or realtors, but if somebody, this is some of the tips and tools that I use, and I'm actually going to be hosting a class online and really going in depth and doing actual deals, because my thing is, it's cool to talk about real estate like I'm doing right now, but to actually do a deal like right now, let's do a deal and everybody, you pull up your property in your area and we start looking for sale by owners and we start working through deals. That's like the best thing to me. I mean, I don't know what's better. That's it. That does it for me. When I can do deals, like starting just doing them. So, I mean, it's cool to talk about it, because to me, every deal is different. It's just every deal is different. That's just, there's no other way around it. And when I say I don't, not knock on realtors or real estate agents, I say that to say when I speak to homeowners, because I like speaking to homeowners because they can make a decision. Agents get like 6% commission. So, and I talk to homeowners and I work out saying, well, you're going to pay, $10,000, $15,000 for this agent, when you can save that money and we can work something out and come up with a deal, and I can help you to sell you. I'll wholesale my contract. Those are the words we have to look at, y'all. I'm going to wholesale my contract, because I don't want people saying, well, you can't sell houses because you don't have a license. That is a true statement. You cannot sell houses without a license. Please understand that. You have to become a part of the deal. You have to become a principal in the deal to be able to do something with the deal. Meaning I have a contract with my name on it, with the deal going down. So that's how we get around having a license. It's not really getting around. That's just the law. You have to be a principal in the deal to do the deal. And it's I've been giving out all this information, showing people how real estate is done and everything like that. A lot of people don't do the little things in real estate. You get somebody into a house, send them a thank you letter, or somebody lets you, you can help them to get their house to somebody else. You wholesale the contract to somebody. I'm sending a thank you to them. And it's just a relationship. It's built upon, I tell people, it's built upon relationships. As far as rehabbing goes, I'm not your guy. I have a rehab team in different states that can build a house from the ground up. So I link up with those people, and I work with different homeowners that, they may need a house rehabbed, and, I can make money that way as well, because I get somebody to rehab, and as they're rehabbing, they give me a percentage, and you can call it a finder's fee, a referral fee, or what have you, just to get giving them business. We do a lot of speaking on the phone. You can do it yourself. I've done it myself. I think everybody starting out should understand what it is they should be saying, and then you should gravitate to a virtual assistant. So you gravitate to a virtual assistant, but you need to know what it is, what the virtual assistant is going to be discussing. So I think you need to make calls, and I'm going to tell you like this. After you've made enough of them, you're going to hate it. You're not going to like making phone calls. I've made a lot of phone calls. And really, you're just having a conversation with the homeowners, seeing how you can help them. And I've had it to where I've talked to homeowners. They didn't want to talk on the phone, even though they were selling their home. And I said I wanted to buy it. And I've talked to some that wanted to hang up in my face. They got mad at me for one reason or another. Or, you know, they were very forthcoming and wanted to work with me. And I had one lady, she called me like a year later to actually get her house sold, help her to put somebody in there or me to buy her home. So it's almost hit or miss. The thing you can't do is nothing. Can't do nothing. I treat calls like gold because they are. You have to sound confident over the phone, because if you sound timid and scared and you can't answer the questions that they have, you just lost the deal. The objective of every call is set an appointment. It's all about the appointment. You can't buy the house over the phone. That's, in a sense, you can't, because you haven't seen it and you can't really negotiate. So it's kind of harder to buy the house, like outright buy the house over the phone. Not to say it can't be done, but that's just, it's more about getting that. What I'm noticing, I go out to an appointment, I talk to the homeowner, and then I'm asking questions, and they just going about their story and how they grew up here and their kids, grew up here, and they hate to let it go, but they're downsizing or they're moving, and then they have another house down the street, and you're like, oh shoot, well yeah, we have another one as well if you want to get that one. So, and before you even do that, like before the appointment, there's stuff that you need to do before the appointment. You're setting yourself up for success, really. You're not going to an appointment in a three-piece suit or nothing like that. You're driving the area, making sure that you understand, you don't want to be late. It's more of just respecting their time, them giving you, the time and things like that. I'm running numbers before, during, and probably after I see the house, because before I kind of have I have my, it's called a MAIL, maximum allowable offer, in my head of what I can, what I can do with this house, what I want them to sell it to me for. And while I'm there, I'm going to crunch some numbers. I'm going to look at repairs and stuff like that. I go in and do an assessment, really. And I'm going to provide that sheet as well. It's just an assessment of the area. And you don't have to be, if you can, say yes or no, and I'm going to give you a quick example. You walk into the bathroom, does it need any upkeep or repairs, yes or no? For me, there's no in between. If it does, there's a number I attach to it, just like the roof. Does the roof need repaired, yes or no? It's yes or no, and then you just keep moving. You just attach a number to it. Does the kitchen need repaired, yes or no? So everybody can look at the walls, the rugs, the ceiling, it's simple stuff like that. Does it need repair, yes or no? And you go with that, and just go with the flow with that. The one thing I use while I'm talking about that is a repair analysis worksheet. It has everything already listed on there, and all you do is the number can be right beside it. Like it could say bathroom, $3,500. That could be a lot for some people. I know some people can do it for, depending on what you need done. It could be $800. It could be, I don't know. It's just how the bathroom looks, but there's a number there, and then that kind of helps us to get us to our maximum allowable offer of what we can actually get the house for. And nobody can be pinpoint accurate to how much it's going to cost to repair a house. Not going to happen. I can put 10 or 20 different people, and I get 10 or 20 different answers. That's just because it's not, what you want to do is get ballpark. You don't want to be $50,000 off. I know some people say, well, it's going to take $200,000 to fix this house. They can build a whole new house for that much. So it's more of getting the experts out there to look at the information as well. After you start getting serious, they're going to be like, okay, well, I think we want to get this house. So, you're going to set up the appointment. I'm taking some paperwork out there to see if they're going to sign on the spot. If they want to sign on the spot and the numbers match up, we can actually put this under contract and see what we can do with it. And before you do that, as I said, you're already out there at meetup.com and you getting people in your area that are cash buyers. So you may have 3 to 5 cash buyers in your back pocket. So now you have this one house, and now you crunching the numbers and you taking out about $5,000. I like $10,000 myself for myself. So I took out about $10,000. I still crunch the numbers. There's still some wiggle room for a buyer, a cash buyer. So I throw it to the one cash buyer who I had a good rapport with, and I said, I'm going to give it to you for 3 days. Do with my cash buyers is you lay everything out on the line. You lay it out. I mean, I even do comps for them, even though I tell them, do your own due diligence. But I don't want them to do as much work. I want them to do as less as possible. If I have a video, they don't have to come out there. If I have the diagrams all laid out, if I have the repairs all laid out, and I have all the pictures, and if I have everything laid out, I just want them to make a decision. Do you want it or not? Because if not, I have another cash buyer I'm about to speak with because, this is a hot house, and I know it's not going to be on the market long. So you're just putting the information out like that about it. So a lot of people are scared of the different agreements that come with real estate. Let me tell you the reason I'm not scared. You can do an agreement that's legally binding on a napkin. You can do a legally binding agreement on a napkin. And the reason for that is because you did it in all good faith and everything like that. You are putting up, information to say, you want to buy this house. But there are forms and stuff like that. And so it's not anything to be scared of. It's more of having a lawyer, because every deal is going to be closed with a lawyer anyway. So you can take the paperwork to the lawyer after they sign the paperwork and let them lawyerize it. You don't need to do, you don't need to go take the bar exam to understand how to do real estate. You take it to the lawyer, but everybody should have, a purchase and sale agreement, a lease option agreement, an assignment contract, a get out of jail free contract, if anybody knows about that. You have to have those different type of contracts to understand what you have your hands on, and you don't want to put stuff in no hot water if you're doing. It's all about doing good business. So that's it doesn't matter to me. It's about good business, and that's all I want to do. Even if I have to make $5,000, my goal, good business. Did you do good business? Yes or no? It's all about doing good business, and so that's why I don't really care. And as far as not really not caring, it's more of having your legal team or your power team in place so you can make the right decisions with what you're doing. You can have you can do an agreement for deed. There's different types of contracts in different states. So I try to tell people, well, go to your realtor and find out, what they use, and then go to the people that's at the meeting that you're going to go to anyway and find out what contracts they're using and get their contracts. It's not, or you can get the lawyer you're going to be working with. What contracts do you use? Well, we use these. Here, take this, and just fill in the information. Whatever didn't get filled out, I'm sure, with the signature, the lawyer can do what they need to do and do their due diligence to make sure that, they're putting their name to it, using their firm, then they're definitely going to do good business. That's just, what they do. They have their contractual by law. They took, taking an exam that they're going to back you from, and you don't just get any attorney. It's a real estate attorney. I have different questions that I ask my attorney, my person that's going to do rehab, my realtor or real estate agent, whatever, as far as the licenses that they have. So it's different questions that I ask so I can make sure I'm getting the best. I went through a lot of different realtors. Some understand what I'm doing, some don't. I went through a couple of different lawyers. Some understand what I'm doing, some don't. And that's okay, because all lawyers, all CPAs and everybody, they're not created equal. And some people say, well, my attorney said, you can't do a double closing. Let me tell you like this. I would say this. If they say don't do a double closing, then for them, they just won't do a double closing for you. So you have to find a lawyer that's versed in real estate, real estate that understands how to do double closings. And that's okay. They just don't understand it. And I went to one lawyer. He didn't understand land trusts, the contracts. And that's okay, because I'm not going to sit there and it's not my job to teach him. But if you don't understand land contracts, then he's just not the lawyer for me. And, no big deal. You just keep moving as you learn and you go. But everybody can continue to learn. And you don't have to learn, how to do his job, or it's not for you. So my thing with real estate, somebody said, well, where do you start? You take a rock, you throw it as far as you can, and that's where you start. I'm going to talk about seminars, and I know I'm going to hurt some feelings, because I know a lot of people go to these seminars, and let me explain to you how it works. So you see the stuff on TV. We're going to come into your town, come in for this free workshop. We're going to teach you no money down, keep your money at home. We're going to show you some great stuff. So you get there, you can't network, and you can't bring anything and pass out anything, because they don't want you to connect with people in your town, because if you connected with people in your town, then you wouldn't need them. I only met a few of them that are not credible. I will say that. There are some credible seminars that come into your town, but they get you in there. Everybody's rah, rah, rah. Everybody's happy, clapping and stuff like that. They're showing you some stuff to make you feel bad, like you're a bunch of crap because you don't have retirement in the bag. You don't have $1 million sitting in assets, and you're still working a 9-to-5 and you're slaving to the job, and you have nothing in sight, and that's how they make you feel. And they come out with the Superman cape on, was like, do you want me to help you? If you want me to help you, we're going to do a 3-day workshop. Only one time. It's going to be a one-time payment of $2,000 or a one-time payment of $300. 3-day workshop. I'm going to tell you what they do at the workshop. You get there. They may feed you the first day, get some rah, rah, rah. Some people come out, get some testimonials. Everybody type testimonials. They give you some problems to do, and they make the problem to where it's a little difficult for first-time beginners, and they make it to a point to where it confuses you. So you're confused on the first problem. You get confused on the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. Throughout the day, you're like, man, these guys are good, and they show you all these great products and stuff that they have, and all you do is you put that number, you see them put that number into the computer system, and voila, it tells me how much I'm going to offer. And voila, it's going to print out this great report. And voila, they just like, bam, they just keep hitting you upside the head. That's what happens. And then they say, okay, well, if you want to work with us one-on-one, $60,000. You can start today. Go to the back room, and we're only going to take 10 people. You see people getting up out of their seat, rushing to get back. And if you were one of the first ones, we're going to give you blah, 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 but we're going to give you a one-on-one consultation. We're going to make sure that you know this, that, and this, and that, and you'll be on it, and you'll be doing this, and that. That's how they do it. And it's business to a certain extent. Some of them are credible, like I said. Some of them are not. Just had to put it out there. So I'm going, I know a lot of gurus are going to be mad at me for doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an online class, and I'm going to discuss the different things that you need to watch out for when going to these different seminars. I'm going to discuss how to do real estate one-on-one. I'm going to discuss how to do real estate with no money down. I'm going to discuss those things so you can have a better understanding whenever you're going. I still go to seminars. I love these things. I go to network, which we're not supposed to, and I go to talk to different people and see the different things that may or may not come out. And I go, and sometimes I'm like, wow, that was good information. And I go, and sometimes I'm like, what? You can sit behind a computer and do nothing and still make money? Come on, man. They got me mixed up. That's what I hear. So my goal, and I'm going to give you all the reason behind what I do, because I give out a lot of information online and offline and, conference calls and stuff like that. It would happen, I'm going to say, what is this year, 2018? I'm going to go back to about 2014 maybe, 2015, about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It came to me, talk about real estate, and they both was on the phone. We're just on the phone talking, and they were just telling me their real estate woes and everything like that. And then they started bringing up a program they were in, and they were reluctant to tell me the name of the person or program that they were a part of. And they were so ashamed of what they had done that they didn't even want to give me the dollar figure, but they told me they had spent over $50,000. And it's been 3 years since they spent that $50,000, and they hadn't done one deal in 3 years, and they put up 50. You can get a house for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I was like, wow. And then the one thing that really hit me is they said they spent their life savings hoping that that program was going to get them where they needed to get to because they didn't have enough money to retire. And so that's what's really started me on my journey. And when I heard that from them, I was like, wow. And I started putting stuff on social media, on real estate. And then people started reacting to it like in record numbers. Like it started going viral. Like, I want to learn about this thing called real estate. And I didn't know it was that bad. So I'm going to a meeting. I'm at a meeting, a meetup. Like I told y'all, meetup.com. I'm at a meeting. It's like 115, 125 people in there, packed, wall to wall. Some people standing up in the back. So the guy up front who's hosting this thing, he says, we're going through, it's an organization, and, you pay about $10 or something like that a month. I don't know, $30 a month. So we get different venues and stuff. So, some accolades. Some people just closed their first deal, and everybody's clapping for them and stuff. Told everybody, stand up if you've ever done a deal. Just one deal. Stand up. I need everybody to stand up if you've ever done a deal. Out of 125 people, 15 people stood up. That was amazing. And I looked around the room. As I'm standing up, I'm looking around like, what in the heck is going on? And all this come about when the people, they spent $50,000. Said people online, my stuff is going viral. And then I started doing some research, finding that over 2.5 million people are in the real estate industry, but not a lot of people are doing anything with it or making money. This day and age, a lot of people are still doing calling themselves wholesalers and putting down $20,000 and $30,000 and trying to use hard money. That's the old way of doing real estate. And I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, all these people. So that's when I started writing. And I wrote my book on steps on how to do real estate. And I started helping people like, okay, well, we got to stop them from spending the $20,000 to $30,000 because the same deal they're spending $30,000 on, I'm spending $100 on. That was the difference. And a lot of people are seeing it now, and it's not even going across the country yet. It's still new right now on how not to spend $20,000 to $30,000 doing real estate. That's amazing to me. And the sad part is that's what I used to do. I bought my first house like that, second house like that. I had to put down because you become an investor from the bank. If you're working with banks, you become an investor, so they want 20% down. Hey, I'm paying all this money. Then I start using banks and started working it a different way. Started working as a new age way of doing real estate. So my name is Charles McCutchen. I am your favorite entrepreneur. This is Real Estate 101. I'm going to be hosting the class online. My email is charlesmspeaks with an S at the end of it at yahoo.com. You can get in touch with me. I'm all over social media. I want to thank Ms. Kimmy Robinson and Elation Radio for allowing me to come on here and provide some insight to the people. This is going to be amazing as far as the information, because I'm going in the same information that these people paying $20,000 plus for them, I'm going to put it out there. And I know Google's going to be mad at me, but who cares? Oh, well, life goes on. If it's going to help people, I think we should do it. That's what I'm saying. So without further ado, I'm going to pray us out. Father God, thank you for allowing me to get on here and grace the people with the words that's just flowing through me to help them to get better, to get out of the financial stress and struggle and strain that we have in this life. And we're going to work to continue to see everything through you. In your name I pray. Amen. Y'all take it easy.
Thank Our Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses. Forgive us the trespasses. In Jesus' name, amen.
Bring it. My life's back on track, I'm feeling good. Matter of fact, the Holy Spirit got them jumping. I don't know how to act. A sanctified Christian on a mission, God bless it. Watch the music, got them dancing, two-stepping, church session. In the name of Jesus, we give God the glory. The book of Ephesians, Paul tells the story. How Jews and the Gentiles sharing God's promise. Peace in the Middle East, today is soon coming. I pray for more peace in the streets where we live. I pray for the day I live to see my grandkids. I pray for the day they stop the violence in the hood. From the west to the east, let me tell you what's good. The church was off the chain when we praise in God's name. God's Holy Spirit takes away all the pain. So much persecution, saints suffer retribution. I pray for my people locked in prison institutions.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray.
Every day I pray.
To my heavenly Father, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray. Pray for the lost to be found, please bring her back home. Jehovah got a strong shoulder you can lean on. When your life is in the bind and you don't know what to do, call upon the name of Jesus, his power is the truth. I pray for those of you who don't know how to read or write. I pray for those of you who still don't know Jesus Christ. We live and we learn, experience the best teacher. Put the church first, listen close to the preacher. The word of God will teach you how to live and prosper. Stay away from foolishness, evil slick posters, lawyers and executives up to no good. I pray for God's will like the Bible says I should. On the right path, the apostle preaching gospel. God's Holy Spirit makes all things possible. Jonah and the whale was far from a fairy tale. Paul preached to the people from inside a jail cell.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray.
Every day I pray.
Everybody stand up. I pray, I pray, I pray, and give it praise.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray. Everybody stand up.
Every day I pray.
Everybody stand up. I pray, I pray, I give it praise. Rejoice to the music that you hear in your ear. Worship Jesus Christ, make Satan stand clear. Saints have no fear, Jesus Christ has a plan. Anointed, yes I am, I'm a gospel rapping man. I pray to the Lord to let me rap in his glory, to tell the whole world the many things he's done for me. Every day God's good, look at how I'm living, blessed with the best of everything God's given. My wife, my kids, my life, my home. Thank God every day for blessing me to write songs. Reach the people, preach his message, spread his word like a plague. Find the sheep who ran away, lost in the hurricane. We still cleaning up the mess Katrina blew down. I pray for the missing people that ain't been found. Earthquakes and devastation, worldwide news. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing us through.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, I pray, stand up.
Every day I pray.
I pray, I pray, I pray, everybody stand up.
Every day I pray.
Give him praise. I pray, I pray, come on, stand up.
Every day I pray.
We're doing it again. We spreading all over the world. Chill, it's like it's a plague. The Holy Spirit, tell them it's making a movement. We saving souls. We on a mission from God. Apostle Thomas. Chill. And we on. Chill. To the break of dawn. Every day I pray.
Our Heavenly Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass.